Hello and welcome to the very first video for Never Fail Ale. I'm very excited, I have to say. So this channel really came about, well, it was actually um, the kind of dead time between Christmas and New Year last year when I was actually talking to my sister Carly and my brother-in-law Adam, just as regards to the passions that I have for particularly real ale and cask ale. And the sode was seen from there, just in terms of potentially doing something as regards to like an online diary of the beers that I've had in the past, beers that I particularly enjoy, and really putting together like an online platform. So I thought, you know what? Why not? Let's give it a go. And here we are now. Where are we? September. So, September already. September 2025. So this will be the first publication of that particular channel. So thank you for clicking and welcome, very much welcome. So you will get to know and get to realise that the videos that I post are very unrehearsed. Try and keep to a structure as best as I possibly can, but it'll all be very much off the cuff, and hopefully you will enjoy the content that I produce. So I thought, what better way really to start my very own video and actually choose one of my favourite breweries. So as mentioned before, I am a real fan of particularly cask ale, and that was the whole idea of the play on words really for Never Fail Ale. So whenever I go to a bar, I always never fail to choose an ale, and ultimately I never want ale to fail. So it's quite a difficult industry, particularly for cask ale brewers, and if I can even just shed a little bit of light on the quality of some of the brews up and down the country, and really highlight the importance of cask ale, not only from a heritage point of view, but from a future point of view as well. That's the whole idea of this particular channel, is to highlight some of the cracking brews that are available out there, and particularly some of the ales that I enjoy. So I thought I would start off with one of my favourite brewers, and they're a brewery based up in Sheffield, and they're known as Abbeydale Brewery. So I'll pop up their logo just in case you've never seen them before. And they're actually, I think they were established, in 1996? So yeah, a good while ago now, really. So what I tend to do is not write too many notes, especially for creating a video such as this. But I thought it's always good to have a bit of background information on the particular brewer itself. And yeah, Abbeydale, on their website here, it says an independent brewery founded in 1996. And it's employee owned since 2024, so only last year. And they go on to say, we like to think that we blend creativity and innovation with heritage and tradition, which, it says a lot in itself, really, and is probably why it's one of my favourite brewers. So I visited their tap house, crikey, a good few years ago now. The Rising Sun. When I say it's their tap house, so it's a pub of theirs, and that's based in Sheffield as well. And I have to say, it's absolutely incredible. Not only was the lineup really, really good, just their quality was absolutely outstanding. But yeah, today what I've decided on is to crack open what we call the Blask, or what they call, sorry, Black Mass. So as you can see there, it says it's a Black IPA, and it's 6.6% volume. Now, I'm really conscious about talking about my own taste profile and what I can smell and what I can't smell, and different characteristics of ales, because I always find that it can differ from person to person. So I quite like to go onto a brewer's website, for instance, and just take a look in terms of their tasting notes and just see what they write about. And then I just kind of compare it to my own particular experience and just see kind of if it matches up more than anything. So Abbeydale Brewery, their website's great. So it's got a really good about us section, and you click on to our beers, and I've got like a heritage section, cask specials, which seems to be updated on a regular basis, which is really good. And they've got the regular section, which Black Mass is on their regular section. I actually think it's one of their most popular brews that they have. And it says here, so one of the world's longest standing black IPAs, brewed using 6 different malts, including chocolate malts, black malts, and roasted barley. And it goes on to say, generously hopped with Cascade and Green Bullet. So it also says here, flavours reminiscent of bitter chocolate, fruitcake, and raisins, with a beautiful aroma of coffee, pine, and burnt toast. So that's what Abbeydale themselves say on their website. So let's get it open and see what we think. So in terms of the can itself, it's a striking, it's kind of like a green, really dark green, and like a shade of black, I suppose, really, in terms of the way that the can looks. And then it has their iconic Abbeydale Brewery logo there. It actually says here on the side of the can, Independent Beer Awards 2023 Gold. So it was the national bottle/can winner, overall champion. Quite impressive. So I am a bit of a glass snob, I have to say. So I made sure that I have one of Abbeydale Brewery's glasses. Once again, it can't be one of my favourite breweries without having glassware. And it's quite a what shall I say, like a contentious issue with some people, just in terms of, especially if you are a glass snob like me, what do you wash the glasses in? Do you rinse it out? Do you not? But I'm always a firm believer of just using normal fairy liquid and then making sure you swill the glass out, obviously once you've washed the glass itself, but then giving it a swill before pouring the beer. I always just think that it pours much, much better, and it tends to give a nice, fresh taste. Let's go here, look. As you can see, that's poured really, really well. So I've just gone just above the half pint line there. You can see. And what an incredible dark colour. Of course, very reminiscent of a black IPA. It just tastes absolutely wonderful. So with it being a 6.66%, it is a very, very, I'll say very strong beer. It's on the stronger side of a lot of cask ales. And it doesn't really smell as if it is a 6.6. I do definitely get that coffee aroma. Let's give it a taste. Oh, it's just absolutely incredible. I have to say, I am very much a fan of having particularly cask ale on draft. And sometimes I find that cans or bottles, for instance, especially bottled conditioned beer, never really hits the same. It just doesn't quite have the same taste or the same quality, which is why I always do tend to go for a cask ale on draft if I can. But that in itself is just absolutely unbelievable. It actually does have kind of like that draft finish and that draft taste. But you can definitely taste the black malt and the chocolate malt. There's definitely that real dark undertone, that's for sure. From what you would expect, really, from a black IPA. So it's very, very flavoursome, and it's it's an easy drink. Considering once again it's a 6.66%, it really is a very easy drink. So I have to say it's extremely, extremely impressive from Abbeydale Brewery. So there you go. So that's the Black Mass Black IPA. Hopefully you'll join me on this journey moving forward. Hopefully what we'll do is I'll post a different variety of content. So beers, like I said earlier, beers that I've enjoyed in the past, um, beers that I've never tried before, and hopefully get around a few great breweries, cask ale pubs, and bringing you a little bit of content out and about. And yeah, hopefully you enjoy what I create and what I post. Thanks ever so much.